Hello, this is Ashley Bishop with Status Coup. Happy 4th of July. John Farina and I are on the ground in Florida. We are in downtown Miami right now where there is a Reclaim America 4th of July protest going on right behind us at the Torch of Friendship, a place whose name I keep forgetting and trying to call Tortured Friendship, and John keeps having to correct me that that's not what it's called. Torch of Friendship makes much more sense. That's where the protest is right now. We are not sure how many people we're expecting here. The protest is there will be speakers set to start at about noon today. So we are going to go around and talk to people who are protesting. We're going to talk to some of the speakers, hopefully before they start speaking, and some intermittently throughout, the program today. So that's what's going on. We will go across the street in just a second. We'll show you some more of the people who are here, and then we're going to talk to some of the speakers again before everything gets going. So again, happy 4th of July, and John and I are reporting from Miami, Florida. As viewers know, we have been reporting from in front of Alligator Alcatraz here in Florida, and there's a lot of anti-Alligator Alcatraz or Alligator Auschwitz, which some people have also been calling it, and signs against that, against ICE, against Trump and all of his policies in general. We're obviously reporting a day after the big beautiful bill has passed through the House, so I'm sure a lot of people are here in protest of that. We will find out as we start talking to people. But yeah, there's, again, I see some veterans here as well. So we will find out from people exactly why they're here, which of Trump's policies they're most against, which, galvanized them the most to come out today on 4th of July. Okay, we are waiting for traffic to pass, and then we are going to cross the street, and we will go talk to our first subject for the day. All right, crossing the street now, taking our opportunity before we miss it. Let's go this way.
Ready? All right, let's do it.
So we have we are so live. We found our first speaker, and yeah, we are excited to talk. So we are live.
All right.
This is Carlos. We have spoken already today, but we're going to make him reiterate all the great things that he said because they were excellent. So again, this is Carlos. Carlos, could you reintroduce yourself for Status Coup viewers and tell us what what organization you work with?
Yeah, my name is Carlos Alvarez Aranjos. I'm the founder of American Opposition. We called for the National Day of Protest on February 5th. We launched on January 26th or 25th. And then we called for the President's Day protest, which became the first No Kings protest. That's what 5051 called it when they partnered with us on that. And we also called for the Tesla boycott in early February 1st or 2nd.
And you had mentioned previously that Elon Musk directed some of his ire at you for that.
Yeah, I was particularly proud that he tweeted that I was evil, because I thought if a Nazi calls you evil, then that means you're good.
I agree with that. So you are from Colorado. You came out here from Colorado, a beautiful state that I used to live in, that I love very much. So that it's wonderful that you showed up for the people of Florida today. So what specifically made you show up here in Florida as opposed to like going to a protest in Colorado on the 4th of July?
Well, Florida's really become an epicenter of the metastasis of Trump. We sometimes think of Trump as an insular problem. But the reality is, all he really is a permission structure for a race to the bottom. And we're seeing that in Florida first, but we're going to see it everywhere in this country. The idea is that if right now we have a country where institutions are strong enough to prevent our politicians and our civil servants from serving themselves primarily. We still have corruption, we still have problems, but they're not foundational to our institutional health. We are on the verge of losing that. And when we do, if we do, then that race is very quick, because we are capitalists, which means we're self-interested as a good thing. But if that turns negative and we start pillaging our own institutions for self-benefit, as the city of Miami just extended the term of their commission here by a year. Normally, when you want to move an election from an off year to an on year, you shorten the term, because the voters gave you a term and you take a sacrifice and you say, we want more turnout, so we're going to shorten our term. Here they extended it. That, to me, is an example of the metastasis of that permission structure that allows us now to say, we're just going to serve ourselves. And by the way, there's no Department of Justice that's going to hold us accountable. So what happens if the United States has 3.5 years of politicians and civil servants behaving with impunity? It starts to mirror what I grew up under, which is I grew up under under Balaguer in the Dominican Republic, which is what Trump dreams of being. And frankly, I can tell you, you don't want that to be the reality in the United States. I think this country got spoiled. We didn't recognize that just the fact that we have a mail system that works, that the checks arrive on time, that they always clear. Those are huge achievements of institutionality that we can't surrender. The moment we do, it's impossible to get them back. Institutions, they decline quickly and they don't recover. So we have to be very careful, because the danger of Trump isn't just Trump. The legacy it could leave us is a quid pro quo society where, when I was a kid and I wanted to go get my driver's license, I had to pay off 6 people, and I had to know which order I had to pay them off in, because you didn't want to insult any one of the 6. Otherwise, you weren't going to get a license. And it wasn't at all about driving ability. And so I come from that place, and I just don't want to see this place become like that place, because I left that place precisely because I wanted to operate in a system that was more fair, that where my shots were based on my work and my achievement and my merit. And obviously we're not perfect, and I'm not saying we are, but we also can't lose sight of how good we are. And it's funny, because one of the Doge guys just said that he was expecting to find fraud and he couldn't find it. And to be honest, those of us generally on the left have known that for a long time. The fact that the right still doesn't recognize that they are creating the broken system they thought we had by supposedly looking into it or electing Trump or trying to shake it up. And one thing is constructive assessment and reassessment and improvement. It's a completely different thing to ironically create the very evil you're saying you're trying to defeat by trying to defeat it. I mean, it's a ridiculous situation that the MAGA movement has gotten us into. So I'm here to stand up against that and to make sure that we, A, understand what the stakes are, and B, that we at American Opposition have a very tangible strategy, starting with the protests and the boycotts, but moving on to direct action. We're going to go to congressmen's homes, to their offices, wherever it's legal. We're going to put maximum pressure on these people. We're going to make them feel it the way they're making us feel it with this big, I call it the huge shitty bill that we saw yesterday.
Sounds like a better name.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything the Republican Party has ever wanted to do in one bill. It's the worst case scenario. And the fact that, it's going to impact MAGA voters disproportionately, so they don't even know that they are going to be victims of their own effort, which is really sad because ultimately we're all humans and I don't want to see anybody suffer. But in red states, you have much more use of Medicaid, much more use of all of these social safety net facilities, and the fact that these people are willing to cut their noses to spite their faces is really sad. And it speaks again to just a level of callousness, a lack of education, a lot of things we have to fix. But in this moment, the urgent thing is to make sure our institutions don't collapse, because we cannot recover them if they do. And honestly, we can't get past Donald Trump or anything else, let alone if we don't have institutions that are basically functioning.
Yeah, you said a lot that I want to follow up on, and I just want to say first, I mean, you're right. It is easier to fix a thing or prevent it from breaking than it is to fix a thing. Right. And I think that people need to fully understand that. The time to protest and to take action isn't after these things have happened. It is before. We need to prevent it. It's like preventative medication. Right. It's easier to keep yourself healthy and prevent you from getting, any kind of illness than it is to fix the illness once it's actually rooted itself inside of you. So I think that that's a really great point. And something that I just want to note for people who are not from Florida and maybe are not as plugged in as you are. We spoke with one of the candidates running for mayor, Ken Russell, a couple days ago. And before coming down here, I actually didn't even know that Miami had canceled their election and, rescheduled it for a year after. So again, it was supposed to be held this November. Right. It will now be held next November, yeah. And as you said, the current mayor has extended his stay by a year and a half now. Without the voters telling them that they could. And ultimately that is an affront to democracy as clear as any other. There's literally nothing lower than that if you're trying to attack democracy. You just gave yourself an extra year on the job. That's an extra year of taxpayer dollars that you're paying yourself, and nobody elected you to do that. And so at least take it to a referendum so that the people can vote on it. And by the way, you can still have that this November, and if they vote you out, then you just get out. But there are 50 ways to do this. But choosing to add a year, that is a function of a permission structure that starts with Trump. It starts with Pam Bondi at the DOJ, where everybody can do anything they want because we're no longer accountable to anybody. And we can just behave with impunity. And here we are in a country where now it's a free-for-all, where every single mayor and every city council, county commission can suddenly start saying, you know what? We really want to add to our salary during our term, which most legislative bodies can't do. And nobody's going to stop them. And so that's the crisis that nobody sees, that I'm trying to warn them about, because I grew up in it. And if we don't see it early, we don't understand the full measure of the problem. We think it's just Trump or just the Republicans in Congress. No. We live in a federal system which protects us against a lot of bad things from the top, but it also means that once things penetrate, it's really hard to root them out because you have to go municipality by municipality and fix it. And honestly, that's a project that nobody ever wants to undertake. So why are we putting ourselves in a position where we're going to have to fix this entire country piece by piece when we all understand that the problem is there? We have to get Trump out of office. That's the cancer. But we also have to prevent metastasis. And you referenced illness. It is a cancer. It's a cancer of ignorance. It's a cancer of hatred. And if we don't cut it out and treat it very quickly, it's going to spiral out of control. And most of the people that are choosing this don't understand what they're choosing. And I don't mind in a democratic system people making different choices than I do, but I want them to understand exactly what choices they're making and what the outcome is going to be. And right now, I just don't feel like anybody understands. I know that you probably are being beckoned to speak right now, so I'm just going to take one quick note. as far as the mayoral election goes here in Miami, this could become a test case for President Trump in the future. So just want to make a note of that and get your final thoughts on what people can do besides protesting. You mentioned that your organization does more like direct civil disobedience, more actions like that. What would you say, besides everybody showing up for a mass protest? That's great, and I think it's an entryway into doing more actions. What else can people do that really applies pressure in ways that people feel it? Because I think these big protests are too easy to ignore by the powers that be. So what else can we do?
Well, we're building towards a general strike. So the protests are a building block, as are the direct actions, as are all of the different projects. We want to do billboard campaigns. So, we're calling it the Trump scorecard, where we compare where he was at day one to where he is now, and we put a price for every American, what they've paid for Trump. That kind of awareness needs to happen. And again, we have a strategy, and it's an end-to-end strategy, and we're deploying it, and it's going very well. I want to make sure that people understand that even though it feels very hard, because this is never going to be clean, we are making great progress. And a national strike in the United States is the most difficult political outcome to deliver, just based on where our system is, where our laws are, health and safety, all these concerns about people's employment, etc. You have to deconflict a lot. But it doesn't become possible until millions more Americans start joining us at these protests. And by the way, if you get 50 million people out on the streets and surrounding the White House and surrounding the Capitol peacefully, it will precipitate the end of the Trump administration. Because the thing I can tell you is politicians are the most self-centered human beings on this planet. And if Republicans understand that not only are we going to force them to have an election, but that they will lose it very badly, they're going to change their tune. Because they are remarkably self-serving. And that goes for both sides. I don't care who you are. Politicians, that's how they think. So let's capitalize on that. Let's put the fear of God into them. Let's make them fear us more than we fear them. Why are we, 330 some odd million Americans, fearing Donald Trump, an orange clown who literally is the most ridiculous human being anybody's ever been aware of? Like, it's one thing to lose this country to somebody who's effective and talented, and if that were to happen, you could maybe understand it. But to lose it to this guy, it's a joke upon a joke, and it's also a huge kick in the ass to the World War II veterans who fought and died to give us this legacy that we are supposed to move forward to the next generation. And so ultimately, I just think we need to take ourselves more seriously. We need to recognize how spoiled we've become and how lazy we've become. We need to stand up and get out on the streets. Once there's 30 or 50 million of us out on the streets, I promise you the protests will be more effective. They will feel more effective because they will also drive additional actions like direct action. They will also drive a change in the political mindset once campaign season comes around. They will force the midterm elections to happen, which is not a fait accompli right now. So we just need to keep showing up. And frankly, we're so used to like things happening quickly that we have lost the muscle. But we need to retrain that muscle and get better about being responsible for ourselves, for each other, and for our nation, because that's the basic duty of citizenship, and we're just failing badly at it. So I just want to make sure we stop doing that.
Thank you so much, Carlos. If we had more time, I would ask 1,000 questions, but we don't. So you are welcome back on Status Coup whenever. All right. Thanks again. Yeah. All right. That was Carlos. He is going to be one of the first speakers. So we are holding him up from actually doing that. So we're going to turn to where the speakers are going to be now. And we will, keep you updated, and we'll be doing interviews periodically.
When do we want it? Carlos. Woo! Make some noise for yourself, guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. When your family and friends tell you that you guys are not celebrating your country and that this country, has so many people that died for its freedom, tell them you are. Tell them that you are celebrating your country and the people who have died for its freedom, what it's actually standing for, and the freedom that they are stripping from us. Carlos, I would love to yield the time to you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Before I begin my speech, I just want to say a few words. First, anybody who's Latino, I want to hear from my Latino brothers and sisters. Okay, so I'm going to start by addressing my fellow Latinos in Spanish for a minute to say buenas tardes. Yo crecí en la República Dominicana bajo la sombra de Joaquín Balaguer. En mi país, el silencio era tradición, la corrupción era la ley y el miedo vestía de uniforme. Yo crecí en un país, como nos dijo el gran poeta dominicano Pedro Mir, sencillamente triste y oprimido, sencillamente agreste y despoblado. Sé que todos los que estamos aquí conocemos bien la tiranía. Vino a nuestra vida con nombres como Castro, Trujillo, Pinochet y Perón. Todos venimos marcados por esa experiencia, por golpes que no salen en los libros, por el dolor y la desgracia que brinda la corrupción ilimitada, y por himnos nacionales que prometían justicia y entregaban desgracia. Y ahora estamos aquí, en esta tierra, a donde escapamos en búsqueda de nuestra libertad y encontramos que la tiranía nos ha perseguido. Y lo peor es que en vez de confrontarla con nosotros, muchos americanos nos utilizan para justificarla. Nos llaman cuando necesitan trabajo, pero nos culpan cuando exigimos dignidad. Nos quieren invisibles, callados, obedientes y eternamente agradecidos. Pero esa gente nos subestima porque somos latinos y llevamos nuestra dignidad a donde quiera que vamos. Hoy no venimos aquí a pedir respeto, venimos aquí a exigirlo. Hoy no le huimos a la tiranía, hoy la confrontamos. Gracias por estar aquí, señores. All right. Good afternoon, Miami. My name is Carlos Alvarez Aranjos, and I'm the founder of American Opposition. Right now, as we stand here, we are not free. Voices are being silenced. Laws are being ignored. American citizens are being deported. In Florida and across this country, we are witnessing the rise of a new tyranny. Not cloaked in red coats, but wearing red hats.
Carlos is on fire.
Not led by a foreign king, but by a domestic con man. The grievances that led to the Revolutionary War pale in comparison to what Donald Trump is trying to do to us right now. Yesterday, the Republican Party passed what Trump calls his big, beautiful bill. But there is nothing beautiful about it. It is a fundamental betrayal that destroys the social safety net for working families and eliminates food assistance, health care, and housing for millions. To give billionaires a tax break they didn't even ask for and they definitely don't need. This bill is everything the Republican Party has ever hoped to pass. Legislative cruelty, unlike anything we've ever seen before. And it's the latest reminder that Donald Trump is not a president. He is a tyrant. Because this isn't about economics. It's about power. It's about control. It's about perpetuating a system that made it so that 8 men own as much wealth as the bottom 4 billion people in humanity. Let me say that again. 8 human beings have as much wealth as the bottom 4 billion people on this planet. And as Trump rolls out his fascist agenda, the eyes of the world turn to Florida. This state has become the epicenter of this battle. As we speak, the first set of inmates are arriving at a concentration camp in the Everglades.
Stand up!
Meanwhile,
I'm worried about.
I got it. Lawmakers are not being allowed to visit the camp because it's already flooded. They call it Alligator Alcatraz, but I call it Alligator Auschwitz. And I want to be clear, being in the United States without documentation isn't a crime. It's a civil offense. In its own rules, ICE claims that immigrant detention is not punitive because the people who have been put in these facilities have never been charged, tried, or convicted of a crime. Instead of getting treated humanely and being deported back to their home countries, the Trump administration is locking them up and sending them to countries they have never known. So it's important for all of us to remember that when the city of Miami extends its term by a year, that when we see
Enrique Tarrio's here.
Shores, we need to stand the fuck
Enrique
up,
Tarrio.
because nobody's gonna stop this.
All right, Enrique Tarrio, one of the Proud Boys, is
Calling
here.
on everybody here and everybody listening everywhere in this country. Stand up with us. Let's fight for this country. It deserves a better defense than what the politicians are giving it. This is the home of the brave, the land of the free, and we need to stand up for it with our lives if necessary. Thank you so much for coming out.
All right, that was Carlos. Excellent job, despite the Proud Boys showing up trying to disrupt the protest right now. We have some vets standing in front of them. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep the mic from getting too wet so it doesn't stop working. But hopefully you can hear most of what's going on, or as much as I can hear anyway.
Get the fuck out!
organizers are calling to ignore Enrique because he has a live stream going right now.
Anybody who's here for attention should leave right now, and I'm talking to you. You should go. I know. You're giving it to me. Get the fuck out.
Please. Get a fucking life and leave.
Shut up. Look at this phone, everybody.
Hey, get out. Go do that somewhere else. Go do that somewhere else. Go do that somewhere else. You got 3 weeks. Why do you want to instigate? Why do you want to instigate? You are instigating.
Like a fiddle. I'm playing you guys like a fiddle. You fall for it every time. And you guys fall for it every single time. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got
Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho.
In the meantime, I want to talk to you about Donald Trump. This country has to be better than Donald Trump. We need to be better than Donald Trump. So, it starts with us right here in Miami at the epicenter of the motherfucking problem. That's right. This city council is taking permission from Donald Trump. And all of us who grew up in Latin America, we know what that means. So we need to stand up. And we need to stand up because this country is better than Donald Trump. Better than this guy too. We got a mandate. This country is better than this is than Donald Trump. We're going to deport your friends. We're going to deport your friends. And we are doing it. That's what we voted for. That's what we voted for. You know what? You didn't give a fuck when they put me in prison for 22 years. Hey, hey! Donald Trump has got to go! 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 You guys should Donald Trump has got to go! We're going to deport you too! Donald Trump has got to go! We're deporting you! Donald Trump has got to go! We're deporting you! Donald Trump has got to go! Donald Trump has got to go! Donald Trump has got to go! Donald Trump has got to go!
Alright guys, give us a few minutes. I gotta figure out the microphone situation. I don't know if it got damaged with the rain, so give me a few minutes. We're gonna figure that out, and then we'll get to some interviews. They got the McFortune tape.
Donald Trump has got to go. Donald Trump has got to go. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. 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 Ignore him. Ignore him. De-escalate. Ignore him. De-escalate. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. 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 Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey.
Alright, I think we should be good. Alright, yeah, okay. Take one. Give one to the other.
Let me just put this to my shirt. Is mine good? Is mine good over here? Hello, testing. Okay. Alright, guys. Let's switch to my mics. We're going to move a little bit away from the noise. Okay, we're just testing the mic right now to make sure the lav mics work. The regular Status Coup mic, we have had issues with this before where if it gets too wet, it just kind of stops working. So we're just trying to see if the lav mics work. So there's one clip to me, and then I have another one, hopefully to pass to other people. So again, sorry guys, we're just testing on the back end to make sure that all of this stuff is actually working. And as you can see, I'm soaked. I took my glasses off because they had become useless in the rain, so I can see better without my glasses on right now since they are so soaking wet, and I'm not sure I have a glasses cleaner with me right now, and it would probably just get wet.
Hold on. No, use them two. Hold on. Give me one.
Okay. Can everybody hear me? We're, again, testing the mics right now. Testing. Can you guys hear? Sorry, guys. This is a pain in the ass.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Testing the mic. Spilling water on myself, not that it matters because I'm so pissed.
Such as security rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent
Okay, just speak up a bit.
of the government.
Hold on, I'm gonna...
Okay.
Okay, put the volume up. All right, let's go over there.
Okay. Government becomes destructive of these ends. It is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers, laying its formation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. We got a Joker content creator here who is pardoned from prison. These tiny little men, Donald Trump, who doesn't have the balls to show up in his own fashion, sends these tiny little men who come out of prison and become content creators to try to disrupt peaceful protests. What a pathetic thing. What a pathetic thing. What is all the grievances in this Declaration of Independence? So many are relevant to what is happening right here today. He has refused, talking about the King of Britain, he has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states for that purpose, obstructing the laws of naturalization of foreigners. concentration camps in the United States of America.
Get off of her. I didn't touch her. You're a real man, don't touch her.
Back up! Why are you backing his face? And giving him what he wants? Back up! Let's go! They're not saying he's the one causing inconveniences.
So one of the last grievances in the Declaration of Independence, he has incited domestic insurrection amongst us. You know this man, every single day he commits impeachable offenses, but he is not even qualified constitutionally to be in that office at all. Yes. He is prohibited from the presidency by Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. We are living under an illegal, unconstitutional, invalid presidency. On day one, he committed the gravest act of treason by pardoning several individuals convicted of seditious conspiracy, along with this clown and all of his friends.
Thank you for making it about me. Thank you. It's not about you anymore.
Do you guys know that back in 2016, the last time I was in your beautiful city, can you believe what I was doing? I was working on the Trump campaign. I was brainwashed by the propaganda of Fox News that gets so many of the good human people, the Venezuelan people, so many people here that flee oppression and dictatorship. I was brainwashed by that same propaganda that makes you think that Trump and his minions are fighting for freedom. What a sick lie they are perpetuating. Isidro Perez came here over 60 years ago fleeing oppression. And this man at 76 years old was detained into an ICE concentration camp where he then died. Is this what you want? Is this what you want? He was the first. There was a Canadian man who died in Miami 2 weeks ago. A Haitian woman who died in ICE custody. When I was here in 2016, I was at an event with Donald Trump in Little Haiti. And I saw him talk to a group, small, intimate group of about 50 people. They were crying. They were pouring out their heart and soul to him. He stood there stoic. He didn't have any emotion. And yet the Haitian community put their trust in him. Over 20% of Haitians, which is a dependable voting bloc for Democrats, voted for Trump in 2016, very likely putting him over the edge here in Florida. And then he goes and ends temporary protective status. He goes and calls them, their country, a shithole country. He goes and accuses them of eating cats and dogs. This is what supporting Donald Trump gets for you. That's what you get in return for supporting Donald Trump. Wake up, people. Have some independence in your heart. Have some self-respect. Take back your life. Stand up for freedom. So everybody, I want to thank you so much. We're having a pretty amazing Independence Day.
All right, everyone. This is Jessica Denson. She's a Trump whistleblower and founder of Removal Coalition.
5051 Miami was one of the first partners to come on board with us and join us in this mission in elevating the demand that Donald Trump be removed from office.
Impeach him now.
Yes, we got to change this narrative. Impeachment might have failed its way 2 times, but I've heard 3rd time's the charm, people. 3rd time's the charm. We can't throw our hands up because he's throwing so much shit at the fan every day that we just say, oh, well, there's nothing we can do about it. What the? Excuse me? You're going to let a fascist dictatorship take over this country and not use the constitutional means
All right, everyone. So that was rough with all the rain and everything. Our gear did get damaged. So we're gonna have to get a new mic. So if you could, please support us, become a member. We're out here for you guys, showing you what's happening on the ground. We're trying to be all over the place. There's a lot of shit going on. What's that? Okay. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to talk. Ashley's going to talk to Jessica. But again, we can't do this without you guys, without the members. So become a member, statuscoup.com/join. Sign up as a member. Also, we appreciate any super chats and donations, statuscoup.com/donate. Thank you very much.
When our rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up. Stand up. Fight back. Stand up. Fight back. Stand up. Fight back. When our rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up. When our people are under attack, what do we do? Stand up. Fight back. 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 Immigrants are people just like us. They want freedom just like us.
Yo tengo un gran placer de introducir a una hermana dominicana. Y para mí eso es grande, porque yo vivo en Colorado y yo no he visto un dominicano en mucho tiempo. Hola, hermana. Entonces aquí le entrego el micrófono, por favor escúchenla. Mira, fuera de todo esto, lo que está pasando aquí, hay que tener un poco de dignidad. Y tenemos que hablarnos uno al otro como humanos. Y tenemos que buscar resolver nuestros problemas con respeto y fundamento. Entonces yo quiero aquí cederle el micrófono a alguien que sabe lo que es ser latino en los Estados Unidos. Aquí.
Hello, Miami! How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay, so this is what democracy looks like, right? We have our protests going on because there's real problems in the United States. Our democracy is decreased, and we have somebody a counter protester right in our freaking faces. Okay? There's no decency to that. This is not democracy looks like. He should be on his own side, getting his own space. We lobbied for this. We organized it. We put it in social media for us to come out here and exercise our rights, okay? For him to be taking advantage, okay, of what we're doing and we're talking about here. That is not unfair. If he wants the media, he should be doing it on his own time, all right? My name is Marisol Centeno, and I'm president of the League of Women Voters on Miami-Dade, okay? The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization that started over 100 years ago, okay? It started because the women didn't have the right to vote. And this is what's at stake right now also. This is how democracy is protected, by us being able to vote, by us being able to elect our representatives, because your vote is your voice and it's your future. Say it with me. Your vote, your voice, your future. Your vote, your voice, your future. Your vote, your voice, your future. Because that's how things change. And this is what's happening over here. We have elected officials that are not representatives, that they're cutting our freedoms, that they're infringing on democracy, and we're not going to stand for that. We need to be able to go to the polling stations and vote right here in the city of Miami, where we are at. They pretty much took your right to vote. 3 commissioners decided to switch elections to 2026. Okay? We need to be able to have better representation. whole day of people. We want people to be able to vote in elections, and it's okay to change it to even years of participation, but it should be to the voters. The voters are the ones that need to decide, not the elected officials that are not listening to the constituents. So we have to translate this energy into a movement, into organization. If you're not registered to vote, you need to register to vote. You need to bring your family, you need to bring your friends, because there's a lot at stake over here. Please get ready. We have people from the ACLU over here that are signing petitions because we want larger districts in the city of Miami. Because 5 people in the commission, 3 votes to change anything. Okay? They are not representing you because the commission districts are too large and they can't get to the events. So if you can, if you live in the city of Miami, please sign the petition. Get ready to vote, because you know what? Your voice is your future, and 2026 is around the corner. You know? People are really pissed because democracy is at stake, our benefits are at stake. The big, beautiful bill has all kinds of bad things for it that are not going to benefit our community. Okay? From Medicaid to SNAP, and you know what? It's going to affect the lower class. It's going to affect the working class that doesn't have enough money, because they have a whole lot of tax breaks, but it's for the higher earners. And people need to know this, and people in our community voted in favor of that. We need to remember that. We need to exercise that right, and we need to remember, don't forget, please remember, your voice, your vote, your future. 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 Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very, very much. And that's exactly right. We are here to fight for ourselves because nobody else is going to fight for us. And we're living in an attention economy where people think that doing anything to get attention is more important than doing the right thing. And what we need to remember is that we're humans first, that we're responsible for each other, and that the spirit of self-government means that we have to participate. It's our vote, it's our voice, it's our country. And if we don't stand up for it, we are going to lose it. And those of us who came here trying to find a better life don't want to have that chase us across an ocean. So I'm asking everybody here to please stand the fuck up. Remember that this country is worth fighting for. Remember the sacrifices that were made in World War II and across all of history to protect this experiment in self-government. This is the most powerful nation on earth. What we do here implicates everybody around the world. Donald Trump's cuts are killing millions of people. Millions of people. And when we say that he's a Nazi, people say, well, where's the body count? An estimate from the New York Times says that his cuts in foreign aid alone are going to cost us 3 million lives a year. In 4 years, that's 12 million people that could die just because we refused to extend a helping hand. And guess what? What that does for our national security, it makes people hate us all over the world. Because we enable evil to rise everywhere. Because we set the example. So if you're worried about Gaza, if you're worried about what's happening in Africa, if you're worried about what's happening with the rise of China, you need to worry about what's happening here. Because if this world doesn't have the American example, then where the hell is it going to go? Now, I grew up in tyranny. I grew up in it. And we're so spoiled that we think our government is broken. Trust me, this government works. Compared to where I came from, this government works great. And we should stop being spoiled and stop complaining about everything and stand the fuck up and do something about it. I am so tired of excuses. I am so tired of of us whining and complaining all the time like we're such precious flowers. We're fucking Americans. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We put a man on the fucking moon. So stand the fuck up for this fucking country, for the kids that are here, that need a better future. Because this is not a fucking joke. It is not a joke. So please start behaving responsibly. Please reach out to your friends and neighbors. I know that being Cuban and being Republican is identity. I get that. But right now, Donald Trump is becoming Fidel. And we're allowing it to happen here. So stand the fuck up before it's too late. I need you, we need you, we need each other. So please, please, for the love of God, don't let this place become like the place I escaped. Thank you very much, guys.
Have you never been so alive on Independence Day? Our country does work. Our country does work because of the leadership we see right here in this plaza at the Torch of Friendship. The people who want to tear us down and silence our patriotic voices will not prevail. We will prevail. Freedom will prevail, and freedom will reign. It's because of you. It's because we will not put up with what's going on in Washington, D.C., the complicit cowards in the state government in Tallahassee. No! And let's bring it on back home. Let's bring it back home to these steps. Let's bring it back home to this city council. Let's bring it back home to the county commission. We do not want more people dragged out of meetings for asking questions with good faith. We do not want a pay-to-play environment deciding where we build, where we encroach, and where we destroy people's lives. No, we want people-powered politics, not money-driven politics, as we see right here in Miami-Dade County. That's all related. That's all related to the hateful stuff we saw here with the interruptions. It's all related to the hateful, bigoted, and extremist big betrayal of a bill. And it's all related to the establishment of Alligator Alcatraz, which is an abomination environmentally, it's an abomination civil rights-wise, and guess what? They cannot be trusted to safeguard people. We've had too many people die in federal custody later. Let us enforce the laws. Let us get rational immigration. Let us stop illegal border crossings, and let's protect human rights and human dignity. So I'm calling on the city council to stop and think about who's in charge. It's the people who are in charge. If you're going to be moving the election dates, ask the people. I want the county commission to hear this clear. Do not take money from places and people to whom you owe a vote. Demonstrate you are independent thinkers about how we develop this county, especially in the Redland, especially in Homestead, and especially as it encroaches on the Everglades. Why? The Everglades are important to our economy. The Everglades are important to our very existence for drinking clean water. And let us make sure that we are ready to vote. We have over here a table full of people who are ready to help you become ready. I think everybody here is probably ready to vote. I think everybody here knows 5 neighbors who are not ready to vote. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming out here. You're showing the leadership. Leadership is infectious. Bravery is infectious. And you've got it. Let's go spread it. Thank you. Phil Ayer, running for Congress here. Nonpartisan event. I am a veteran, just like my brother in arms. All right, you heard it. He's not here for that. He's there for America. He's here for our community. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sergeant Rhodes. I don't do speeches, but I have some shit to say because I'm pissed. Fuck off. The bill happened. We're going to let people take care of that are better qualified than me. I'm not going to discuss that. I'm going to discuss the unconstitutional actions being committed by this government. I swore an oath to serve the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Right now, we have a domestic enemy. That's Donald Trump. And it's not just him, and his corrupt cabinet of white supremacists trying to force their beliefs down your throats. They can believe what they want. This is America. I can't control that. But they don't get the right to tell us what religion we must be, what language we must speak. They don't get the right to control who walks down our streets based off the color of their skin. In the Marines, everyone was green. You might be dark green, you might be light green. Yes, sorry guys. But you're green. You would die for your brother. You would save his life, put yours on the line. I'm sorry I'm a little riled up right now. When I see jokers trying to pull the crap that they were pulling, they don't even understand I'm fighting for their rights too. And they don't even understand it. Because if they take away people's rights, they're going to take away the next people's rights. Whether you're brown, black, Muslim, whether you own guns, because if they take away my right to speak out because I'm speaking out against him, they will take away your right to own that gun when they decide that you're a danger to them. And that will happen. Look at every single fascist regime. It happens. So how do we honor that oath? We win our democracy back the way we are doing it. We continue to stand up. Who here brought someone with them today? Raise your hand. Tomorrow or the next time you go to a protest, and that needs to be soon, I need you to bring 2 more people than you brought today. And the next time, 2 more. You guys are here in the pouring rain because you care about this country. And we need our neighbors to care as well. They're not caring right now. It's not hurting them. He chickened out on the tariffs. He chickened out so they're paying an extra $5 or $10 at the grocery store. It doesn't hurt them. But one of these days, someone they love is going to get kidnapped off the streets. I'm white, in case you guys didn't notice. I'm an old white man, a veteran. I could just stay silent and get by. And it's sad that we all know that that's the fucking truth. But I'm not going to sit by. I'm not going to stay silent.
Thank you.
Because injustice against one is injustice against all. Fuck Donald Trump! Impeach, remove, convict! Impeach, remove, convict! Impeach, remove, convict! We can't just show up to these things and talk. We have to keep showing up. We have to keep the pressure on Congress. We have to take and elect people that will fight for us if they are unwilling to fight for us in the office that they currently hold.
Right. Replace all of them.
I'm sick of this. I shouldn't be here. You guys don't need to be here. You should be celebrating this country. But we're here because we as a community love each other. You can see it when we had the clown posse show up. When we surrounded the speakers and locked arms, saying you're not going to interrupt our right to speak out. He can go speak out. He's not going to get in on our jam. Like I said, I'm not a public speaker, guys, but I'm pissed off, and I'm going to keep trying to get veterans to stand up with us. Because if there's one thing that I want you guys to walk away with today from what I'm saying is that if you know someone who served, you need to have a serious talk with them and ask them why they're still on the sidelines. If they're saying that they're for secure borders, wow, so am I. If they're worried about their guns, hey, I don't believe that we have a right to take away gun ownership. There's a difference between responsible gun ownership. Ask them, have the hard conversations with them. Veterans are the key. They're a big piece of this puzzle. We need more veterans standing up and running for office because you understand what it means to serve your country and to dedicate your life to that service and to the people that you never fucking met. And you love them anyway. Have that talk to your veteran friends. Bring them to a protest. Let them listen to what we're saying. Because you know the right, they have done a really good job of telling veterans they're awesome. But they don't care about us. So I'm going to finish up here. Leave you with one last thing. I will not sit down. I will not remain silent until this motherfucker's impeached. I love you.
Luna. So hi everyone. My name is Luna. I am a student. I go to University of Miami. I'm going to be a senior. Ooh, okay, megaphone. And so I'm here with Florida Student Power Network. We do work around immigration justice, climate, education, democracy, and healing justice. So I was just speaking to one of our representatives, Dodi Joseph, and so for me, so I'm Cuban, Puerto Rican, and Vietnamese. My grandparents immigrated here on my mom's side. And so a lot of us here who are not, all of us pretty much, who are not indigenous to this land, every one of us comes from people who have immigrated here. And our enemy is not the one that is knocking at our borders, it's the one that's keeping them. And the least that we can do as a community is welcome them with open arms, provide shelter, water, food, and also build loving, prosperous communities where we all have a right to a dignified existence. Because our government has allowed for far too long for these families to suffer. This isn't just something that just started this year, it didn't start when Trump came in. This country has been deporting people who belong here for a very long time. Indigenous people as well. So every one of us should always be asking ourselves daily why we're not providing a safe place for these human beings to stay, instead of asking meaningless questions about like the economy. We have to allow ourselves to be moved by what's right and what's necessary to decrease the suffering of our people. Because at the end of the day, we do not survive through individualism. We survive through our neighbors and our communities helping each other and sharing what we've got, mutual aid, and sharing and creating that infrastructure to take care of one another, ultimately. So feel free to check out my organization because youth are the future. I see a lot of people here. Thank you to our elders who are here. Thank you to, what do they call you? Boomers? Whatever. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. It's needed. I wish. But thank you for being here. It's needed. But remember, like, you know, once you're gone, I'll be here. My kids will be here. We have to live with the consequences. So, you know, take care of your youth. Share the resources that we have here today with them and push them to be, you know, the best community members that they can be, because You know, there's a lot going on right now, but at the end, like youth, we're the 7th generation. That's what I was told. We're the 7th generation, and we're going to be the ones that change things. So, thank you.
She called me a boomer. So, one of the things that we see a lot of at these protests are candidates who are running for office, because it's easy to meet people en masse. But one of the things that we rarely see are people who are already in office. Our elected officials so often forget who put them there and who they work for. This week, Camila Ramos was dragged out of County Hall, paid for by our tax dollars, for asking a question about the process. Enrique Tarrio showed up here today, and he was not dragged away. We set an example for our elected officials today. I want to thank Representative Dottie Joseph for being here with us. Almana?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
I am Dottie Joseph, and I have the honor and privilege of representing Florida House District 108 entirely in Miami-Dade County. Come on up, Jessica. So, I want us to just take a moment. I think I turned off the mic. Take 2, okay. I want to just take a moment. And I want us to just take in this moment. We're here on the 4th of July. And our country is at a crossroads. Our country is at a crossroads. It can go one of 2 very different ways. Before I get into that part, let's get a little engagement, right? Can we get some engagement? Y'all ready? Let's see if you know some chants. The people united. The people united.
Will never be divided.
La pueblo unido.
No será dividido.
All right. Otra vez. La
Mi
pueblo.
padre es de Ecuador, pero tenía que aprender español en la escuela. Así que a veces me da vergüenza hablar español, lo siento.
All right. Miami-Dade County is made up primarily of immigrants. The largest immigrant group in this state are who? Cubans. The second largest are who? Haitians. And then everybody else. Seriously. And we're at a point right now where we're trying to figure out what we need to do. Our communities are under attack. We're seeing what is happening with the judicial court system. We're seeing what is happening with Congress. We are seeing what is happening with the executive branch at every level of government. And when I tell you our democratic system is under attack, you see it. That's why you're here. The question is, what are we going to do about it in this moment? This is the time that we need to decide which way we're going to go on that crossroads. A lot of us came to this country because we were fleeing a dictatorship. We were fleeing political oppression. We were fleeing the things that brought us here that we celebrate normally on Independence Day. Meanwhile, we have a Congress that has squarely chosen not to side with the people and to side with billionaires. And who's left holding the bag? We are. We just exponentially expand expanded this country's deficit. Who's going to pay for that? When people are suffering because they can't get the medical care they need, who's going to pay for that? It's not going to be the person who's going to call up their plane to fly them to see a specialist at some random other country. They don't feel that pain. Who's going to feel that pain? I was asked to talk about TPS. For those who don't know, there's been a lot going on with TPS, from taking it away from Venezuelans, taking it away from Haitians. Now that's back on the table because the judge just ruled this week that the Trump administration didn't do it the right way. So we're back at the other date. That's a victory. We can celebrate it. We know they're going to challenge it. But in the meantime, I want you to understand that this was never about undocumented immigrants. It was never about criminals. It was never about any of the things that they tried to make you believe it was about, because it was always about black and brown people, racism, and xenophobia. That's all it's about. Now, before I continue, I don't know if you want to say any of that in Spanish.
Pues lo que quiere hacer los dictadores siempre es dividir y conquer. ¿Cómo decimos conquer? Conquerar. Lo siento, hoy mi español es horrible. Pero por supuesto, escapamos, tanta gente en esta comunidad escaparon dictadores para encontrar libertad en este país. Y creemos que gente como Trump y los republicanos están ofreciendo libertad. Creen que... ¿Creen que Donald Trump es un representante de cristianismo? ¿De cristianismo? Give me a break. Sabemos Dios mejor que saber que Trump le representa, ¿no? Pues tenemos que reclamar lo que significa la libertad en este país y cómo vamos a luchar por ella en este momento. Tenemos que hacerlo ahora mismo. Como está diciendo, este es el momento. Lo vamos a perder si no lo usamos ahora.
I want to talk to three groups of people right now. First, I'm going to talk to the immigrant community that's under attack. Then, I want to talk to some other minority communities that don't feel like they're under attack yet. And then I'm going to talk to everybody else, okay? So, first from my immigrant community. Know that you matter, and we will make it through this together. We will make it through it together. However it happens, whatever comes, we will make it through it together. What we cannot afford to do right now is to try to throw each other under the bus. And people are doing it already, and we know why that is. We have lots of folks in our communities who have either been brainwashed, accepted the internalized racism, think they're close to whiteness so that it's not going to affect them. People who voted a particular way who are now being deported. People from Cuba, people from Venezuela, people from all kinds of countries who are being deported, and they're surprised. I hope you see it. I hope you understand what's going on. Just because you voted a particular way doesn't make you safe. It just means you voted in a way that helped get you to where you are. I'm going to talk to folks who don't understand what's going on with the attacks on the 14th Amendment right now. There's been a lot of court decisions addressing birthright citizenship, which has not been addressed on the merits, right? Procedurally, they are trying to tie the hands of the courts because that's where they're getting a little pushback for now. And I need you to understand, I'm going to just talk to the black people right now. Any attack on the 14th Amendment is an attack to your equality in this country. That's the whole point of the 14th Amendment. So if you don't think it applies to you, I'm here to let you know it does. Now for everybody else. Anytime your rights are violated, anytime somebody else's rights are violated and we don't stand up, guess who's next? Guess who's next? They pick off whoever they think is the most vulnerable. They go after them. If they can get it, they continue. That's how it works. If you haven't read on tyranny, I recommend you check it out. We're there. So, there's some things I will say publicly and there's some things I will not. But it's time for us to man up, for us to woman up, and decide that we're going to keep this country. The American democracy exists if we can keep it. But who keeps it? We keep it. Nobody else there is no cavalry coming. We are the cavalry. We are the cavalry. So how do you protect each other? How do we protect us? We have lots of examples, but now's the time to figure out what you bring to the table. Everybody has a role to play. There's no one leader. There's no one person we need to look to. In your network, what do you need to do in this moment in time? Tap in. You'll know what it is. What gifts do you bring to the table? Now is the time to step up with it. We need you now. Another book I'm going to recommend are Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents. Check it out. Written in the 1990s, they talk about a president whose slogan was Make America Great Again. Talked about wildfires in LA in 2025. Written in the 1990s. Check it out. If you don't know about Fred Hampton, check him out. I'm just dropping some things for you to pay attention to what's going on. South Korea just recently went through a similar situation. Check out what they did. Check it out. Lots of lessons. Are you ready to learn? Are you ready to get engaged? Now's the time. Let's go.
Give it up for Rep. Joseph. Merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup, mon ami. Thank you guys so much. You know, she referenced On Tyranny from Timothy Snyder. And one of the chapters of that book that's not cited nearly enough is the motto for my show, Lights On. And the chapter of that book is Stand Out. Stand out. It talks about how when you're the first person to go and do something, it may seem uncomfortable, you may be going against the current, but once you take that stand, you're modeling to others what is acceptable, and they will start to follow. You know, how many people in Congress right now, for God's sakes, are afraid to stand out? Where is their leadership? Where is their representation of we the people? You know, over 50%, 52% of this country, across party lines, is in favor of impeachment and removal. 52%. You know that includes 20% of Republicans? 20% of Republicans, and Congress right now tells us we have to wait till the midterms? Are you kidding me? We're going to let this guy set up concentration camps on a daily basis and we're going to wait till the midterms? Are you crazy? So we are here, each one of you, like so many of the speakers have said, like Eric said, I love the horns. Don't you guys love the horns? We're here modeling behavior. Now, I have some family who sometimes worries about me traveling all over the country doing this stuff. And by the way, we were sitting at breakfast today laughing at ourselves, the organizers here, laughing at ourselves like, we do this all for free. You guys aren't paid. We're not paid. There's no paid protesters here. We are here because we refuse to stand down in this moment. We refuse to be silent. We're modeling behavior. We're showing what needs to be done to stand up for our country. And we're not going anywhere, thank you very much. So listen, we got to get a lot louder. Like Rep. Joseph was saying, there is a finite period of time. Anybody who has studied fascist takeovers, authoritarian takeovers, will tell you that you have a very, very small window to act. Very small. And if we lose that window, the time it is going to take to regain the losses, to undo the damage, is so extreme. We can't afford it. Our children can't afford it. Our future can't afford it. We can't afford it right now, for God's sakes. So we need to put pressure on our elected officials. Call Congress every single day. Let me tell you the number for the switchboard. If you don't know it, commit it to memory: 202-224-3121, 202-224-3121. Look up the zip code of the reps that you want to target if they're not in your district, and just ask to be transferred. Put those phone lines on fire. Like I always say, peacefully but relentlessly hound these people. They are in their seats for us. Okay, they're not on some kind of joyride until the next election. They're there to do a job.
Put it on auto dial.
Auto dial. Put it on auto dial. So we need to be very, very focused. Every time you show up to a protest, increase the numbers, like Sergeant Rhodes was saying. Bring your signs, impeach and remove. That's my explicit goal. I'm so friggin' transparent about my mission. I hide nothing. I want every single protest to be message at removal. I want this narrative to be so explicit that the media cannot continue to treat every day of the Trump administration like just another day in American politics. We need to have every person in this country talking about how to get Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Mike Johnson, and this entire incompetent, criminal, corrupt, illegal administration out of power. And it's the 4th of July. We are celebrating our independence, celebrating a constitution that empowers nobody but us to do that. So I'll leave you with this. It's got to be one of my favorite quotes, and so appropriate for what we're living through right now. Abraham Lincoln, he said, "The people of these United States are the rightful masters of both the Congress and the courts, not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow the men who pervert the Constitution." So thank you guys all so much again. I want to look for Marisol. Do we have Marisol ready to come up and speak? Bienvenida.
Okay, everybody, we're finishing this up, right? All right, so because it is Independence Day, we have to finish it up with Let Freedom Ring. Let Freedom Ring in Hialeah. Come on, let freedom ring in Homestead. Let freedom ring in Little Havana. Let freedom ring in Little Haiti. Well, come on. We need Miami-Dade to show up and be loud. And let us be felt. This is not an ordinary moment. Just like Jessica was saying, none of this is regular business. This is not normal. Come on, people. This is not normal. This is not normal. This is not normal. This is not normal. For real, when have you heard of all the issues that we're having? We can't catch a break. We need to put a stop to this. We need to show it at the poll. We need to come out and protest because that's how our voices are heard. We need to call the Congress. We need to call our commissioners. We need to write letters. We need to show up so they see that we're angry, that we're not okay with what's happening, that we're not okay with them giving themselves breaks and not listening to their constituents who got them elected. Okay? Their lifestyle, everything they have is because we put them there. Because we voted whichever way we voted. And now we're paying the consequences. And that's okay. But the way we put them on, we can take them down. We can vote them out. Come on, vote them out. 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 And don't remember, City of Miami has elections in November. Miami Beach has elections. And these local elections matter. Okay? People are formed from these little community elected officials. They start up and they keep growing. Look where they're at. Because we keep voting for them. We need to vote for people that represent us. people that represent our values and our morals. Okay? We are forgetting that. This is not normal and this is not right. We need to exercise our right to vote and get out and make some noise. We need to let them know we're not okay. We're not okay with what's happening. Okay? So, next protest, even more people. Invite your abuelas, invite your cousins, los primos, los vecinos. Todo el mundo que vengan a protestar. Okay? Porque aquí nos están dañando a todos. Okay? No solamente a los haitianos, no los venezolanos, no son los cubanos. Somos todos de una manera u otra. Okay? It's all of us that they are hating us between the bill, between the policies that are made, damaging the Everglades, that is our bread and butter, the water that we breathe. Come on. All right? The inhumanity of alligator Alcatraz. Just to make a point? Come on, those reports that there's enough spaces in the regular jail that there was no reason to be building out there. We need to stand up. We need to make our voices heard and exercise our right to vote. Get ready. Let's do it. Vote them out. 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 Thank you, everybody. Please. Okay. I think people wanted to ring the bell. Where's the bell? Okay, one at a time. Come ring the bell for freedom. Come on, people. Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Come on. What are you ringing it for? For freedom. What are you ringing the bell for? Yes. Let it be heard that we are staying engaged. We are getting ready to vote. We are doing what's right for us and our families. Keep it up, people. Bring your family, bring your friends. Yay! All right.
We're going to sing a little song. It's going to go like this. Whose side are you on, good people? Whose side are you on? We're on the freedom side, okay? Ready? Whose side are you on, good people? Whose side are you on? We're on the freedom side. Whose side are you on, good people? Whose side are you on?
The freedom side.
Whose side are you on, good people? Whose side are you on? Good people. Whose side are you on? Good people.
The freedom ring.
We're on the freedom side.
Whose side are you on, good people? Whose side are you on?
We're on the freedom side.
Whose side are you on, good people? Whose side are you on?
We're on the freedom side.
See, that's it. All right, who's on deck next? We're good? Oh, come on up.
That's the two people.
Hi, everybody. I'm not a politician, and I'm not sort of any organization or anything like that. I'm just a regular guy. I work at 9 to 5. I drive in US 1 traffic every day.
All right, guys.
I live at home. I live in Homestead.
Would you do an interview maybe with
Phil?
Eric in like
You
10
know,
seconds
like all
so I
of
can
us.
like find him?
You know, not everybody's a politician or has an organization or anything like that. But I came to Florida in 2007 or 6. So I've been living here basically my whole life. And I remember when there weren't so many houses and there weren't so many buildings.
Yeah. Let me just ask Eric if he's going to be around, and then I just have a quick question. Okay. I will be right back.
And I know we're supposed to be talking.
I was actually going to ask you about Octavia Butler and why it is so relevant, why her work is so relevant to this moment, because I think it's a good, a good thing for us to talk about super fast. No objection. Awesome.
Every day in the sun, they could have gone to the education down in Florida City.
Alright, in the meantime, smash that like button, share this live stream. If you are not yet subscribed, do that
Hey,
now.
I'm sorry, guys. Do you have? I'm going to ask the representative like one super quick question, like a minute or two, and then would you like to talk to me with Phil? I thought talking to you both at the same time would be kind of nice. Okay, I will. Okay, great. I'm going to catch up with you guys in like 2-3 minutes, and then that's going to be it.
I live on 112th Street, Galloway, Florida, and There's a sidewalk
All right.
throughout the school, but it ends.
I'm going to really quickly ask one fast question to the representative, and Eric's coming over here, and then I'm going to flag you both down, and then I will be right with you.
So
Awesome.
what I'm trying to say is, if we have the money for
We are ready.
why don't we have the money for conference?
All right. Just hold it.
And I know also we should be focusing on the U.S. government because I have access to. Because
They're kind of tricky. I had a hard time.
inside?
The clip on the inside, and then here you go. Perfect. Yeah, I had a hard time with that too.
Okay.
All right. So whenever he gives the thumbs up, we will be ready to go. Thank you so much for doing this. I won't take up too much more of your time.
No problem. And should I be looking at you or looking there?
Oh, you can look at me.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Whenever John is ready. John is ready. Okay, so I am speaking with a representative of Florida. For those of us who are not from Florida, can you just give your name and what district here you represent?
Sure. My name is Dottie Joseph, and I have the honor and privilege of representing Florida House District 108, which is entirely in Miami-Dade County.
Excellent. Okay. All right, we're just going to move back a little bit so that John can get.
You want the statue?
It's just crazy how Miami is becoming something that's unattainable.
Okay, so Representative Joseph, you said something that really resonated with me when you were speaking, and I wanted to ask you about it because I don't get an opportunity ever to ask questions like this. But you referenced my favorite book, Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. We are here on 4th of July at a protest. Why did you think it was relevant to bring up her work in this moment and recommend that everybody here read some of her work?
So for those who may not be familiar with that book, it is a book that was written in the 1990s by an African-American woman. And two of the things she talked about was a presidential candidate who would take power under the slogan, "Make America Great Again." Another thing she talked about was wildfires in Los Angeles in 2025. Coincidence? Maybe. When interviewed about it, she said that it wasn't any kind of inspiration. It was from analyzing patterns. And if we're analyzing patterns, the other book I also recommend people to check out right now is On Tyranny, because we see history repeating itself. The question is, have we learned the lessons last time to go in a different direction? This country is at a crossroads. We stand here representing, celebrating, supposedly, the 4th of July, right, which represents this country's independence. And this country has two heritages. One is of colonialism and the genocide of the indigenous people, followed by the mass human trafficking of Africans to fund their enterprise by enslaving them, right? That is part of the heritage of this country. Those same groups of people have led the fight for true freedom and equality in this country. When we talk about the 4th of July, I can't go without mentioning, What to the Sage is the 4th of July by Frederick Douglass. So if you haven't read that, check it out too. The reason I'm bringing up these things right now is to give people some tools that we can use to analyze and make a different decision. We can reclaim and reshape the future of not just this country, but the world. Fascism is on the rise around the world, right? It's like the axis of evil on steroids powered by the oligarchs.
I got to march in the streets.
But there are more of us than there are of them.
I actually went to Washington, D.C.
And we have a chance to do something different.
Fuck Donald Trump.
That window will be closing in the next couple months, next couple years. But once the imperial boomerang is in full effect, and the surveillance state takes full hold, and robots come here in the way that they want them to come here, our power to mobilize will be diminished. So I want people to not just, the reason I'm talking about those books is there are lessons to be learned in terms of preparation and survival. But it's not just a tale of doom and gloom, but how we can survive. There are lessons from there. Beyond those lessons, it's time for us as a collective to co-create the world in which we want to live. It doesn't have to be the way that we have it set up. If we think about it, everything we actually need as human beings to survive and thrive are free. Air, water, food, you plant the seeds, you take care of the land, it replenishes. Same thing with the animals. Everything we need was actually free from birth.
Not enough. It's a start.
Somebody came along and convinced us that we needed to pay for all that stuff.
One of the reasons that we're here today.
We can recreate a different world. It doesn't have to be what we have right now. And I think people are starting to wake up around the world, and we are the global majority. Make no mistake about it. We just have to wake up and understand our power. The time is now.
We have those tools.
And if you tap in, you don't need anybody to tell you specifically what to do. Get out of that mindset. Get out of the sheep mindset. Get out of the somebody needs to tell me what to do mindset. If you tune in, you know what you need to do. Everybody, we need everybody on deck right now. The artists, you need to be creating. The supporters, you need to be supporting. We need the mutual aid. We need people to build communities. We need people to understand how to have sustainable agriculture, how to plant stuff in your own garden with seeded stuff, not seedless stuff. How do you have a backup plan? How do you protect your documentation? How do you plan for underground railroads? How do you plan for whatever it is that you need to do in this moment to not just ensure your safety, but that of your community? How do you protect the most vulnerable, the disabled, the undocumented? What do you do now? It doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's quiet. But whatever it is you need to do, now's the time to do it. If you're waiting for permission, you've got it. You are now knighted. It's time. We need you now.
Thank you so much, Representative Joseph. Some very wise words and some really excellent book recommendations. Here's a Status Coup. You should all go read this book, especially Powerball and Store. Again, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And for those of you who do live in Florida, please pay attention.
And I'm Dottie Joseph, D-O-T-I-E Joseph, if you want to catch me on IG or anything. I answer my own DMs most of the time.
I love that. Thank you again. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Right.
All right, here you go.
Okay.
And
all right.
part of the reason why
now we're going to go find a couple of vets who are speakers who have been waiting for us. So 1 second.
So if you want to help,
we are all set.
Home,
we are all set. I'm going to see if I can. I know Phil was around.
We will talk to voters. We will talk to your neighbors and make sure that people never stay home again.
I don't. Do you see Phil around?
No, I don't.
All right.
Hello, sir. I want to say thank you, sir. Just kind of see what's going on. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm looking for my other person. Okay, can I get you later?
Good.
Okay, bro.
All right. Why don't we?
Oh, there's Phil.
Oh,
I see him.
You see him?
He's right at the end here.
Okay.
You go over there. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go get him. Cool. Thank you again so much for hanging around.
All right. And this is in the name of community.
Oh, there he is. I cannot believe you spotted him all the way over here. I have bad eyesight, as you can see. Hey.
It's hot, humid, and crowded. And it's still hot, even though there's clouds.
Hey.
Hi.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Thank you so much for waiting for us. I appreciate it. Eric is right over here, so we're all good. I guess John has the eye for aesthetics, so we'll ask him where he wants us to set up. All right, where would you like us to set up? What do you want to do about the mics since there's 3 of us?
Actually, once you make speakers, test it off, and they'll both have.
Okay.
I'm about to be interviewed. Would you like to hold the flag behind me?
We're working with these lav mics right now because our other mic got wet, so I'm just going to kind of pass it around.
I got you. I got you. But if you want to do that.
Okay. All right. So
She's gonna stand behind with the flag.
Oh, sure.
That works. Would you take the flag?
Yeah.
The main thing is the flag. Just unfurl it. No.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry.
Aesthetics. Come on.
I'm a nerd.
Yes, we have to have the flag set up for the background for, as Phil said,
The
aesthetics.
flag on the 4th of July is important. Watch for the wind. There's the camera. You're amazing.
So we have our flag now. We are all set. Okay, so you guys both spoke. Phil and Eric, you guys are both vets, and I wanted to get the perspective of two vets. And I just want to say, too, you guys have both very nicely hung around after you wanted to leave to talk to us. So I just want to say we appreciate that, and I think viewers will be happy to that you guys hung around to talk to us. So again, you both spoke. You are both vets. I guess I would ask. I would just ask, as vets, what specific things would you want viewers to know about why you showed up today on the 4th of July? So instead of celebrating on the 4th of July, you guys are here protesting in downtown Miami. Why do you think it was important to do that?
Well, it's so clear to me because it's so clear to me. I got one here.
Yes.
So the reason I showed up is so clear. It is because we love our country. We swore an oath to defend and protect our country. Founded on what? Founded on the Constitution and all of the rights and privileges and responsibilities that go with that. Sergeant?
Okay. I'm going to choke up a little bit, but I can't stand what's happening. All right? I know, like I say, I swore an oath to the Constitution, but I did it because I believe in protecting people. And that's not what's happening. People are being attacked. And I'm not okay with that. If you run up on someone with masks, you don't have a warrant, and you don't have a badge, how do I know you're not a kidnapper? I'm gonna jump in, and I'm gonna go to jail for it. I'm gonna go to fucking jail because I stand up for someone's rights, because our government isn't supposed to work this way, and I don't care. I'm gonna stand up for them. I don't care who you are. I don't know you, but if you get attacked on the streets, I'm standing up. So right here, I'm going to ask all my other veterans, stand the fuck up. Get off the fucking sidelines. Forget about your gun rights. We're not coming for your gun rights, but this administration will once they're scared of you. Stand up. I can't get through to the MAGA. I'm not even going to try. But I could get through to Republicans that didn't sign up for this, that are hardworking Americans. I live in a neighborhood with some hardworking Republicans. They didn't sign up for people that get deported the way they're getting rounded up and put into a concentration camp. They're good people. But I need them to stand up, and I need veterans to stand up, and I really need veterans to start running for office and saying, hey, look, I'm going to fight for you guys the way I did. That's why I'm here, because I'm hurting inside, and I can't not say something.
So one of the things I think the sergeant is talking about is the way that federal agents are dragging people off the streets, not identifying themselves as law enforcement, covering themselves in masks as if they were ashamed of their mission, because frankly, many are ashamed of their mission. And their mission is, in many cases, unlawful. Certainly the tactics appear to be unlawful and need to stop.
I mean, thank you both. I appreciate how, clearly upset this makes both of you, and should make everybody else who is watching, who is just part of this country, who's witnessing all of the things that are happening right now. We've been reporting from Alligator Alcatraz, so, the kind of like epicenter of some of these battles right now in Florida. And I mean, to your point, Eric, talking about people just being snatched off the street. Romeza Ostert, who was snatched off the street by ICE in Boston, she said what you're saying, that she thought she was being kidnapped. She thought she was being kidnapped by masked agents who did not identify themselves, and she didn't know what was happening to her. And that's essentially, that is what people are defending right now. And again, to your point, Phil, like, they're doing this in masks because they are ashamed of what they're doing.
So
very clearly.
Some are doing it in masks and some are not. We also have United States federal troops that are not trained in domestic law enforcement that are made to do one thing, to fight and win our nation's wars. We are not at war against ourselves. We are all sworn to protect and defend the Constitution and enemies, foreign and domestic. And what has happened with this administration, enabled by cowards in Tallahassee, and often cowards in municipal governments across the country, including right here in Miami-Dade County, is to do deals with authority that is not legitimate in the eyes of the people. So we are a nation of law and order, and I would call on every law enforcement officer with whom I've worked throughout my entire career, and every military active duty person to make sure you're following lawful orders. And there's plenty of lawful orders going along with this policy that Trump's brought in. However, there is a line, and they need to know where that line is, because we, the people, expect them to be the people's military, the people's law enforcement, following lawful orders.
Yeah, and I mean, on that, the bill passed through the House yesterday. So the bill passed through the House yesterday. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties with our mics. John's adjusting. We are all good now. So the bill passed through the House yesterday. This now makes ICE the highest funded government agency that we have in this country. I mean, all of this is set to continue. Again, if there's anything else that as vets you would want to add on the fact that, again, ICE is now the highest funded agency in this country after this bill has now passed.
Okay, I'm going to not just address this to vets. I'm going to address this to law enforcement. I'm a veteran, and I swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution. What that Constitution is, it is to protect the people against the government. If you are out there, I don't care if you're in a community that has signed a contract with ICE. If they are performing an unlawful act, if they don't have a warrant, and you support them, we need to start taking you down too. You are getting paid taxpayer money to protect and serve. So start doing your fucking job. You're not being paid to protect and serve ICE. That contract came after you signed up. Your squad car says to protect and serve. Start doing your job. Start standing up for your community. And if someone's here illegally, fine. Do it the right way. Due process. Stop this mass bullshit. You can stand down. You have a choice. We just saw a leaked Border Patrol meeting, and someone questioned the authority of the supervisor and said, no, this isn't right. That's what it takes. Someone has to stand up inside that department and say, no, we're not doing this. This is not how we do it. I signed up to protect and serve. I didn't sign up to unlawfully go collect people from Home Depot and throw them in a concentration camp. So do your fucking job. Protect and serve your community, and we'll get rid of criminals the right way with due process, and we'll avoid all this other Nazi bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, on that, we just went to a migrant community in Florida yesterday, and we spoke with a lot of people who are, in various stages of whether they're a migrant worker or an immigrant, and their status in the country might be mixed. But we spoke with a lot of people there yesterday who wanted to stress, and I think that this was the main point that, these mostly all women that we spoke with yesterday wanted to stress, that they're not criminals. They're not criminals. They're people who just came here to better their lives, and they all had their own reasons for coming here. They just wanted a better life for themselves and their kids. Any reporting that I've done, here or in other countries has led me to believe that the only thing that people care about is having a good life for themselves and their families, protecting their families. That's all these people are doing. And again, they continually said, we are not criminals. So I don't know if you guys, want to comment on that at all.
Oh yeah, I do. So this is the land of the free, the home of the brave, and those people, many of them left their home countries. You don't leave your home countries for cowardice reasons. You leave them because you found in yourself threatened, and you come to this land of opportunity. So we have laws to regulate how many people can come in. So we need to make sure that we do stop all illegal border crossings, but we don't. That's not an excuse to take somebody who's not documented or in the process of becoming a legal resident, but is here physically legal. You don't take them off and throw them for deportation, as the government is currently doing to meet them. Arbitrary garbage, 3,000 arrests a day. That's wrong. That's not providing due process. That's not providing the liberties that we all fought for. You asked earlier about this big bill. I call it a betrayal of that essential American freedom of land of opportunity, land of law and order, and this is pulling the rug out from under all of that. The funding that it was given to ICE as an agency is grotesque when you think about the other things that are more important for national security, to include the care and feeding of our troops and our veterans. We have the same administration who said to be pulling 80,000 jobs from the Veterans Department, or Department of Veterans Affairs. The health and welfare of our military veterans is key to our readiness to fight and win the next war. If we don't show that in our budget priorities, instead we go after building this facilities like this Alcatraz in the Everglades, which is also diverted federal funds from FEMA, putting us all at risk from the next storm or the recovery from the next storm. We've got our priorities all wrong, and I'm looking forward to a time when Congress changes and we can repeal all that nonsense.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you guys for too much longer. I think I have two things that I have kind of signaled out to follow up on. One of them is the idea that, specifically in Florida, so the pretense for Alligator Alcatraz is that there's a state of emergency.
2 years old declaration by the governor of the state of Florida. He meant that for some made-up invasion from Haiti into the Florida Keys. He had that emergency, and he's misused that declaration to divert FEMA funds into the Alligator Alcatraz. That's an abuse of power, untested in court, and I hope that the courts test that.
Yeah, and I mean, not to mention the fact that misuse of FEMA funds in Florida as we are entering hurricane season. And as you have mentioned, I mean, the Alligator Alcatraz is being built in the middle of the Everglades. Again, we've been reporting from there the last couple of days. You said that you were out there on Tuesday as well. I mean, it has already flooded. The facility has already flooded.
Okay, let me tell you about that flood. I haven't been inside. I'm not permitted to go inside. But I was there during the rain. It was a normal Everglades rain. No big storm or whatever. We all put out, those of us had umbrellas, we took them out. And then it stopped. And we see pictures of flooding in this facility that Carlos Jimenez, one of the Congress people that represents in that area, said this is not going to be any humane. He said the same sort of thing against after assessing an established federal detention center, saying it was adequate, and someone died, the next week in it. So clearly, the standards of professionalism in these facilities is not up to scratch for what they say they want to do, and therein another tell as to the lies that are coming out, driving all this hateful policy.
Yeah. So you got to both of my questions that I wanted to ask. Eric, do you have any final thoughts that you want to add to kind of wrap this up?
I do. So all these non-criminals that we are spending billions of dollars to arrest now that they got their big bullshit budget through, what are we doing to protect us against the real threat? We're putting Thomas C. Fugate in charge of our counterterrorism at Homeland. He has no counterterrorism training. I guarded nukes for 2 years in the Marines. I had a top secret security clearance. I have more counterterrorism training than he does, and I am not qualified for that job. So how about we start looking at what this administration is doing, Pete Hegseth and Signal and all this other crap. They are being irresponsible. They're trying to manufacture a threat inside our country which is making us open because they're diverting funds that would actually protect us from threats outside the country that are actually real.
Thank you so much. I will say, I'm sure you were more than qualified. But again, I don't want to keep you guys for too much longer. Any last call for final thoughts as veterans, for any vets who might be watching Status Coup right now?
It's the people and it's the leadership that comes from the general public that is going to save us. You know, some people had signs around here reminding us of what Benjamin Franklin said: "It's a republic if we can keep it." That's what needs to happen. More people need to be brave enough to speak and then act in accordance with their values, not be fooled or not be exploited by the people who are currently in power.
Thank you both so much. We really appreciate you speaking with us.
Thank you so much.
This was a pleasure. Thank you so much, Eric. Phil, you guys are fantastic. We'll keep in touch. Thank you so much.
Take one. Give me one. Remember, we're still on.
I'm sorry?
We're still on.
All right, guys, 1 second so I can check my messages.
Once again, we were the only independent outlet out here. There were other local outlets out here covering this, but they are not talking with the people like we are, like Ashley is doing right now. So if you want us to continue this work, sign up as a member, statuscoup.com/join. Nobody else is giving you this type of coverage. So again, statuscoup.com/join.
I don't know if we can. So I mean, it starts at 2. We can wrap now.
Yeah.
So that we can just head right over there. We can do your news. I know that Alex wanted to talk, and I don't know.
Which one?
I want to say that Alex.
Oh. Yeah, we just passed him. He's over there. Okay. All right, so Ashley's going to get one more person to come over and do an interview. There is another protest and a vigil over near the over in Everglades near the ICE facility. So we're going to make our way over there now. We're going to try and go live again. So just look out for a notification if we're able to go live. We're going to see the service was really bad over there. It's right in the middle of the Everglades. So if you are not subscribed, subscribe so you get the notification. And we will try and let you know as soon as possible.
We are currently live, so catch up with
Palestinian kids and we getting hit with the cars. What the fuck you think you can't afford the rent? And you're building and you can't
Well, at least it didn't really fall far. Yeah. Here, I'll do it myself.
Clips that way.
All right, we're just getting set up. Give us 1 second.
Good thing I brought a shirt like this. Let me make sure it's good. Yeah, I think that's it. You can hear? How do I sound? I'm good?
You are all set. Okay, so we are here with Alex, who we spoke to at the beginning of the protest. So Alex, why did you show up today on the 4th of July to a protest in downtown Miami instead of celebrating with your family, doing anything like that? Why did you show up today instead? Oh, sorry, more mic issues.
Okay.
Perfect.
Flip
myself. Hold on.
You want to restart?
No, we're good. You can just go.
Okay. Well, my name is Alex Fornino. I've been an activist for, I think, since 2017. I started, or maybe 2016. I started with the Bernie Sanders movement. He was running for Congress. And, you know, I've watched a lot of campaigns, you know, kind of struggling and going through, and you know, now I see like Trump, this term of Trump is much worse than the previous term. Like everything I feared with this term started happening with all the cuts, and now Congress just passed this one big beautiful bill that's, you know, that's I think it's called double speak, or some Orwellian thing, you know, where, you know, you say something and it's like the opposite essentially, where, you know, it has all these tax cuts for the rich that don't really help anyone. And then there's also a lot of spending cuts from the poor, you know, Medicaid, supplemental nutrition assistance. So, and of course, there's all the tyranny going on with ICE, and I think he has mostly with that, and also with foreign policy. You know, he's being generally destructive in that sense. And with all that in mind, I've actually decided to run for Congress myself, like our friend Phil Ayer. I'm running in District 27, so there are two other candidates there, but I think I'm like more of an innovator, you know. I figure that since it's so often that we get a terrible president, you know, especially if you include the other Republicans, the Bushes, Reagan, more or less, it seems like maybe we shouldn't even have presidents. Maybe we should have more democracy. Maybe citizens should have the right to veto, and federal workers should have the right to nominate their secretaries and directors. So, you know, have like a grassroots kind of thing going on where people, like the decisions, ultimate decisions being made by generally like people who are less sort of corrupted. You know, Trump is corrupt. Many of the Democrats are also corrupt, but in sort of better ways, more or less. So that's why I'm here, you know, partly. Like, I'm here to not just, mostly just to be like another face in the crowd demanding even better. Not just to remove Trump, but to make sure that we don't ever have another Trump again.
So Alex is running on a platform of abolish the presidents because they sort of suck. Abolish the presidents because they sort of suck. And
usually,
some version of direct democracy.
Right, yes.
Very interesting platform. If you live in Florida, keep an eye on Alex. Appreciate that. Yeah. Any final thoughts that you want to add for Status Coup?
For what?
For Status Coup.
For Status Coup. To be honest, I'm not really familiar with the Status Coup. I watched a few reports, but you know, you were subscribed to one channel. I'm personally subscribed to Secular Talk, so it's a similar program. But you know, you subscribe to one channel for like the kind of independent news, and then you get, you know, maybe 6 or 7 stories a day, and that can be a bit much. But you know, I'm proud of the work that you do, you know, and other generally for other independent sources of news. You know, it's good to be like independent of like the the big businesses that kind of buy out major news sources, you know, like Fox News and CNN and MSNBC, you know, that kind of make them lean towards like less impactful, less helpful issues, you know, approaches.
Yes, and you should support independent news because we are the only outlet who is here on the ground right now covering this. Talking to Alex about his No Questions platform. I have a hard time imagining no presidents not descending into chaos, but...
Well, that's what people thought about abolishing slavery back in 1850, you know?
All right.
So if people kind of think about it, I think people might like that idea, and eventually there might be enough of a movement where we see, okay, you know, Trump and Vance and whoever else, they keep winning, it's not right, and then we might have something like that. Or it could just be like a negotiating tactic. I studied business, so one class I took was called negotiation. And one thing I learned was anchoring, where you maybe throw an anchor so far that even if you drift more towards something you don't really want, you're still anchored so that you don't go too far away from what you really want.
That is a very interesting viewpoint to view politics through. Thank you so much, Alex. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your 4th of July weekend.
You too. Have a good day.
Thanks so much. All right.
Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you.
Let's see if we can interview this couple.
Take care.
Hi. We're with Status Coup News. Would you guys want to talk to us about why you showed up to protest on 4th of July today? Cool. Sure. Hang on just 1 second. If you could you just hold the mic, or you don't have to. I will hold this mic. I am mic'd up myself. I will go in the middle. Did you want to be a part too? We can get everybody in here. You're camera shy. Okay. Understand. All right. So we will talk. I'll hold the mic up for you. So I'm sorry. What was your name?
Liz.
Liz. So we were talking to Liz about why you showed up to protest on 4th of July instead of celebrating our country today.
Because this is the land of the free, and this is unjust what's going on these days. And I used to work for CBP myself and ICE, and even thought I used to work for them. I still think that things are not doing properly. It's unjust. And unfortunately, it's not really ICE-ish problem. It's our president who's making them do things, because a lot of my former employees have been fired or they've had to leave. So I'm here because I'm protesting for freedom, for justice. And we don't want a dictatorship. And the way it's being coming up is like it's a dictatorship. I'm Dominican born and a U.S. citizen, and I'm grateful for this country, but I still, ignorance should be fought, and immigrants do a lot. They have a lot to contribute here. Without the immigrants, there will be no people to be able to work in restaurants and farms and things like that. So that's why the reason I'm here, to show my face and protest.
Absolutely, and you're talking about migrant workers, immigrant workers, who provide us with food. We were just at a migrant community yesterday, talking to some of those people, and about how ICE has interfered with their lives, their ability to live freely here. We don't often get to speak with someone who, as you said, you used to work with ICE.
The CBP and the task force officer with ICE, and even thought I enforced immigration law. It should be equal. I think it should be equal immigration. I think immigration should not be just the Cuban and the Venezuelans. They should not have the same. That should be over. It should be, everybody should have equal immigration, because the Cubans, they come here, they're like U.S. citizens, and it should not be like that. It should be equal immigration. I used to work right in front of the front line, right there in CBP, and I used to see how the Cubans would come into U.S. and then they would be traveling every month back and forth to Cuba, and I'm like, why are you saying that you fear for your life if you're going back and forth to your country, to Cuba, who they fear for their life, allegedly. So that's my reason for being here.
I guess I would also ask, is there something that you can talk about as far as the tactics that ICE is using right now? I mean, we saw yesterday the bill just passed through the House, so ICE is now the most highest funded agency in our government. And they are, essentially just kind of snatching people off the street right now. As someone who used to work for ICE,
CBP task force assigned to ICE as a task force.
Assigned to ICE, okay. I mean, what do you think about the tactics that they're using right now?
I think it's cruel. I think it's cruel. It's inhumane, and that you not treat them like they are. And mainly, it's Border Patrol are the ones that are over 23 years. I worked for the agency, and I saw how before September 11, how they used to treat the immigrants. They used to treat the immigrants like crap, and we at Legacy Customs that I am, we had to teach them how to treat people more humane, not so unjust, not so cruel.
Yeah, I mean, one of the immigrants that we spoke to yesterday essentially said what you said, that they feel like they're being treated like animals.
I truly believe. I mean, those cages that were just built, that's just like cages for animals. You don't do that. Nowhere in the U.S. in history has that been done. There's a lot of detention centers they could be sent to instead of sending them to that. He just wants attention. Make a name, Alcatraz, like in San Francisco, and that he's like the king of the world, and this is Alcatraz. Now they can't escape because all these alligators are going to get them.
Yeah, I mean, we've been reporting from in front of Alligator Alcatraz, so-called, for the last couple of days. There's already signs. As you're driving down through the Everglades to that facility, there's already signs on the side of the road that say Alligator Alcatraz in front of the facility, in front of the gate of the facility. There is, again, another large sign that says Alligator Alcatraz. Those just popped up yesterday. They were not there on Tuesday when we were there.
I tried to get there when they, I believe it was Tuesday, and I wasn't able to get the place because it's so secluded that you can't find the location. Possibly now they might, like you said, they have the signs.
Yeah, they have signs now. It is a marketing opportunity. They're selling T-shirts, not at that facility, as far as I know. But I know online you can buy T-shirts and hats that say Alligator Alcatraz now.
That's terrible, but hey, sooner or later, I believe in justice and I believe in God. If you do bad to people, sooner or later, He'll get back to you.
Thank you so much, Liz. Do you have any final thoughts that you want to share for viewers of Status Coup?
I just pray that for unity in this country and for justice and things equal immigration, because people should not be treated differently just because you're from Cuba or you're from Venezuela. Because at the end of the day, I used to see them going back and forth to Venezuela and to Cuba, and that's not right. It's like, why give them that privilege to have that basically a U.S. citizen almost become like a U.S. citizen, and then the other immigrants don't have the same opportunity.
Thank you so much, Liz. Appreciate it. It was a pleasure. Pleasure speaking with you. All right, guys. I actually don't need this. I already have this. We are going to sign off. It's just about 2 o'clock. We have another event that we are going to head out to, which is about an hour away. We'll keep you updated as far as what's going on with our next events. Well, we're still in Florida until tomorrow evening, I believe. So I think we're going to be here until tomorrow evening. Again, we'll keep you updated as far as what we're doing. Thank you so much for everyone who watched this live stream. Happy 4th of July. Please like, follow, and subscribe to Status Coup News if you have not done that yet. You don't want to miss any more of our reporting over the next day or so from Florida. If you are not yet a member, please become a member at StatusCoup.com/join. It takes a lot of money to fly John and I out here for an indeterminate amount of time to just follow the protests, see what's happening here. You can help us to do this, and we can do it more if you become a member at StatusCoup.com/join for as little as $5 a month. It's really not that much money, but it does help us out a lot. So if you can, please do that. If you can find it in your budget. If you genuinely can't, then don't. We don't want your money if you genuinely can't. If you can't, you can follow us. You can share our work so that other people who might be able to become a member can do do that. So that is it from us today from downtown Miami at the 4th of July Reclaim America protest. We will see you soon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.